Run. Alright, so let's start singing. Kivodo Kivodo Misharesa Shoyalim Zelase Kivoidai Maleolam Kivodo Maleolam Kivoidai Maleolam Misharesa Shoyalim Zelase That's what a lot of the Chaver are asking these days, right? Aye Makom Kvodo. It's the same thing that the Moshe Rabbeinu asked Hashem after Chet HaEgel. He says, Har'eni nas kvodecha. Like, I just want to see how you're covered Shemaim through Chet HaEgel. And then we have to, whatever it is we're going through. So, I am a Kumkodo. It's the only voice really that's left. Kivoidai Aleo Olam Kivodo Aleo Kivodo Maleo Misharesa Shoyalim Zelase I Did you guys see that thingy that was sent out a little while ago about the soccer player? See this clip? I don't know if you saw this. This blew me away. I don't even know which league this is. It's a European soccer league, right? But it's a British.
No, you can.
It's okay. They know whoever he is. This guy's a big. What a Kiddush Hashem! The guy scores a big goal. It's a big. It's like not stum another game. Spanish league. It's a big goal, and you see him. It was like this, right?
Yeah.
45. Right? 45. He couldn't, and even if he wasn't even trying to hold back happiness. It wasn't like, oh no, it's not right to be. It's not proper to be so simcha right now. It was just like, I'm doing my thing. This is my job. I did something big. Cameras on me. 45. There's so many Kiddush Hashems going on right now. It's really good. Listen, you guys come to the tish. You're too far. We need to be close. There's no Indian to stay far. Ari Balabai is giving the shoes to sit.
Any slot
come.
You don't want to some kahish.
there's such an opening right now that's hard to talk about, because usually it's kilo a contradiction. There's such an opening while there's such pain. But we all know that a heart that's broken is a heart that's open. So whether none of us would have chosen to open our hearts like this, but everyone here their hearts are shifted open, broken, that means that the hearts are open. That means it's a big Eis Ratzon. Big Eis Ratzon. Scary how much, how the magnitude of it, and the moment that there's so many moments that each person at any given moment right now can become a huge Kiddush Hashem. Of course, Lachen Lahefech, but let's just focus on the Kiddush Hashem that you can be right now. But this Indian, I'm feeling so, the Indian of Chaverim Kol Yisrael. You all are. So let's sing like we sing before we start davening. Reini mekabel alai mitzvah saseh shel ve'ahavta le'acha kamocha kamocha reini mekabel alai mitzvah saseh shel ve'ahavta le'acha kamocha kamocha chaveri kol Yisrael chaveri kol Yisrael chaveri kol Yisrael hareini mekabel alai bam 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 ay 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 da 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 hareini mekabel alai mitzvah saseh shel ve'ahavta le'acha kamocha kamocha hareini mekabel alai mitzvah saseh shel ve'ahavta le'acha kamocha kamocha chaveri kol Yisrael chaveri kol Yisrael chaveri kol Yisrael hareini mekabel alai Yehuda and I had the schluss of being by Ditchever a few weeks ago. First time since they really for the first time, as you know, because they found they found the right. It's a different ball game. It's a very, very different stuff than when we were there before. It's really quite shocking. I was just thinking to myself, like, if he's the son of Gorancho Israel, what do you think he would have been? What do you think he'd be saying right now to their Baal Shalom? I have no idea. I'm putting it out there. I have no idea. This niggun is his words. It's just in English, but it's his words. Master of my universe, I will sing a song to you. Where will I find you? Oh, where do I not find you? Where I go, there you are. Where I stay, there you are too. Never realized how hard it'd be to sing these words. Only you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you, only you. Only you, you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you. Master of the universe, I will sing a song to you. Where will I find you? Oh, but where do I not find you? Where I go, there you are. Where I stay, there you are too. Only you, you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you, only you. Only you, you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you, only you. Only you, you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you, only you. Only you, you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you, only you. I have to share with you something before we continue singing this song. You said before it's such an ace ratzon, the gates are so open, and you could either be the biggest Kiddush Hashem, and if you miss the opportunity, it can unfortunately be like, you know, the Havdil, not a Kiddush Hashem. People are experiencing things they never knew they could ever experience in their life. L'tav v'lera, for bad, obviously, but for good. There's such a need for people to rediscover and redefine their concept of the awareness of Hashem, of the living God in their life. I was on the phone. It was the middle of the night, somewhere in America. I don't want to mention names. A friend I haven't seen in 20 years reached out to me. And over the last few days, since what happened, he's bawling his eyes out. He feels this dire need. He feels so bad. He's married to someone that's not Jewish. I'm sure she's a very special woman. But he knows it's not his wife. And he can't, it's like this kind of thing can either make you feel like, well, I feel like just doing my own thing and being as far away as I can from anything remotely connected to the living God of the Jews. This Yidel is on his way out. He's on his way to come home to Eretz Yisrael. It's awakening something in the Shoresh Neshama of the Ummah, like Rav Kook spoke about so often. There's a concept called the collective soul. It's called Mishmar Ummah. Rarely has it really been like, tugged that we've gotten so used to Piguim, unfortunately. It's like we've gotten so accustomed to the, not used to, but we've got so accustomed to whatever life goes on, we have to continue, be strong, that the terrorist attacks. When was the last time they really ripped us open? On the level of like what's going on right now. This is not to compare, it's just to speak about where things are at right now. There's something tugging at the what the Tanya refers to as the Bariach Hatichon Mavriach Min HaKotzer LaKotzer, to this inner line that is a cord that all of us are part of. Tanya says when you move the rope a little bit at the bottom, you shake the rope a little bit, it's felt, that dingling is felt all the way up, right? All the way up. So I want to say that right now, it's not that there's a little, dingles, that anyone that's holding on to the rope called Am Yisrael is being thrown from one side of the room to the other side, from wall to wall. And the reason that it hurts so much is because you're holding on to the rope. It's called Nishmas Am Yisrael. If it wasn't hurting so much, it means that you're not holding on to the rope. So would you ever in a million years give up this pain? Ever? If it's happening already, would you ever in a million years say, I don't want to feel it when the rope is being dangled. I'd rather not feel it. That's why, only Mishagayim would sing a song, Only You, after, who are we to, only You. It's because we can't explain it, that we need the Ribono Shel Olam now more than we've ever needed him in our lives. But on the other hand, it's like we want to hug him, and we want to scream. And the chap is that Hashem can handle it. That's a little bit of the spiritual maturity that we're going to have to go through. Kadosh Baruch Hu can handle it. So even singing a song like Only You, words like, Ani Avdecha, everything is different. The words are different. Dancing is different, singing is different. I told some of the chavra that I don't remember anymore. Oh, we were talking about this in the women's shir. But today is Monday. I can't believe it's only Monday. It's crazy. Yesterday. This last Shabbos on Friday night. Some that were with us in shul. There was dancing going on. It had nothing to do with happiness. It was probably the most intense dancing I ever saw in shul. It didn't stop. I thought it would one round. It's the first time since Corona we actually were dancing. And it wasn't dancing of victory. What victory is there? And it wasn't dancing of Shabbos is in, so you gotta go in. It's dancing. I felt of warriors in the spiritual war that we're all in right now, that are waiting for a new type of pkudah. They're waiting for a new type of command. And it can only come down onto people that admit that we don't know nothing. That's why we say, where I go, there you are. Where I stay, there you are too. Only you. There's nothing else. No article, no speak, nothing can nourish the soul that's hanging on to the Yaakov Chevel Nachalos other than the screaming and the crying out of the Neshama. Scream out to Hashem only you. So, let's try to get deeper. Chevron, give me stronger harmony, okay? Sing a little bit lower, so maybe it'll be easier. Yes. Master of the universe, I will sing a song to you. Where will I find you? Oh, but where do I not find you? Where I go, there you are. Where I stay, there you are too. Only you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you, only you. Only you, you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you, only you. Only you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you, only you. Only you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you, only you. Die, 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 da, 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 my, die, die, hi, die, da, 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 only you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you, only you alone, you again, only you, only you, only you, only you. I die, 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 die. I die, 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 die. I die, die, dum. I da 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 dum. I da da dum da da dum. I die, die, die. I die, die. I die, 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 die. I die, die, die. I da 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 da. Siftach liboy. Open my heart in your Torah. Hey, Rava, Kadam. Hey, Rava, Kadam. Siftach liboy, be'yoydaysa. You know, that goes with those, that's what the words mean. Nachon? Yehei Rava Kadamach means Yehei Ratzon Lefanecha. Should be your will before you. The Siftach Libai B'Oraisa, you open my heart in your Torah. Be Anarachitz. These words, not stand at that moment when we say this, you know, we sing this, something else happens. Thanks to Tyrone for bringing that to the hood. Props, Emma. You brought some really strong ones. Be Anarachitz. Be Anarachitz. It's him I want. For his holy name, I want to say tishbachas. I want to say praises. Should we go before you? The siftach libay v'araisa. Open up my heart's opening. My heart's cracked open. Our hearts are completely shechted open. If they're open anyway, it might as well be to the only thing in the world that's eternal, and that's the Torah. Sashli mishalim de libay. Fill all the wills of all the hearts. My heart, and the collective heart of all of your people, Am Yisrael. The Tav, the Chaim, the Ishlam, for goodness, for life, and for peace. I got another startling text today from a very respected Rav. And he said to me, he basically said to me, am I the only one that feels that no one's talking about the fact that there's a big Roya Gzar Din that's hovering over Am Yisrael? That's what he said to me. You know, a lot of people are saying a lot of different things. You can't respond to anybody, to anything. That's like the big Indian today. You can't. Nothing. Ein modedim adam b'sha'as kaseh. When a person's heart is shechted open like ours is, you're going to hear a lot of different things. And the whole avoda right now is letting everyone say whatever they feel like they have to say, letting everyone feel whatever they have to feel, and not feeling this. It's definitely not time right now to be at all politically correct. Come, this one. But the tzaddikim are so plugged in. Out of all I'm sure most of the chaver here have tried to stay away from any footage from Thursday night. It's hard when it's so like all over the place. It is interesting that 90% of the chaver that were there are people that don't have phones they're not busy with their phones taking footage all the time. So it's actually pretty amazing that there isn't as much as you'd think from such a huge gathering. You notice that? But I can't get out of my mind what you sent me, Toby. I cannot get Rav Biederman out of my mind. I don't know, did the chaver see this? A few minutes before, maybe a few minutes before, he was singing to the Nigun of Reb Shimon words I've never heard anyone sing. Not only I've never heard anyone use the following words. And he was saying it as if he sees in front of him something really bad about to happen. And you send it out later. Kra lo yagzar dinenu, kra lo yagzar dinenu, kra lo yagzar dinenu. And he starts jumping with it like a man in a battlefield with a mamish with a sword. It's frightening. Kra lo yagzar dinenu. Klaro yagzar dinenu, klaro yagzar dinenu, klaro yagzar dinenu. Klaro yagzar dinenu means whatever the bad verdict is, please chuck it away fast. Kra, rip it up. Not kra with an olive, with an ayin. The kra to tear. Rav Biederman screaming, tear. Like we say, Avinu Malkeinu, Klaro Yagzar Dinenu. So Beseder, I can understand if it was like an Elul gathering, or Slichas gathering, because it's like in the air, It's like Gomer. The Biederman's screaming, and he's dancing like it's something I've never seen before in my life. I cannot believe that actually was sung a few minutes before this happened. The tzaddikim are plugged into something that we at least we know that there's something like that, like tzaddikim that exist. We have no, I shouldn't say we. What do I know about anyone here has? I don't understand it at all, but I just know that they do. But the kra lo yagzar dinenu. What if I told you that if we sang it strong enough, that we could prevent another gzar din that's really bad? Would you sing it? Would you scream it? Like at what risk, at what point are we going to really not care what we look like? If what we have to do is something so extraordinary when it comes to screaming to Hashem. Thursday night at the Hilula, we were screaming. We screamed a Mishnah. Remember the Mishnah? In Shabbos, the parak is it? Yedalid, Mishnah Dalid. Called, remember the sugya about Kol Yisrael b'nei Malachim and Reb Shimon's Shita that everyone can wear rose oil, and Bina was pouring rose oil all Shabbos. Kol Yisrael b'nei Malachim, all of Am Yisrael b'nei Malachim, screamed it in the Hilula. So I feel like we owe it to ourselves to take a little bit of going out of the comfort zone, this time voluntarily, and really plead on behalf of Am Yisrael, because the pictures we saw this week, again, if I know that I can do anything in the world to prevent that. Ever on Friday, when I was in Abu Kabir, and I saw people looking for their children, I can't get it out of my mind. If I know that there's something small that I perhaps could do, that maybe, not maybe, I believe in tefillah, that if there is a gzar din, if there is some judgment, but I scream over it, I'll do any, right? How could I not? What right do I have not to? So, at whatever level you could say this, because really, I don't even remember that there was Lag Bomer this year. So we had to remind us today that the Bichlal was there. I forget. Who remembers Lag Bomer? I remember the moment on the van. I remember the moment when I found out that we can't make it to Meron. That's it. That's all I remember. So if there's a chance, I believe in us so much. And those of you that are with us online, if you can, please, Leman Am Yisrael, to do whatever we can to make sure that maybe perhaps with my crying, there'll be one less Levi in the world, one less Shiva house, one less orphan, one less widow. We would do anything in the universe. Never, ever underestimate the power of your crafts, of your scream, of your cry. And we, Baruch Hashem, we have this chus, we're learning every Shabbos, all of us is running around with Rav Biederman's Torahs. So it's not just enough to quote his words, it's also to daven with that fire. Klaro yachzar dineinu, 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 klaro yachzar Gadoya Zardinenu ובחרב ומתן כבוד השם למך תהי לידייך ובשפתייך בתורשך Give all those who want to praise you, who are longing for you, let them open their mouths and figure out how to belt it out. Simcha v'yaz v'sas alavai le'ilach v'yotzmi yichaskel v'nadeh v'ledov Badi chasne milvani shamavai mishichecha bimeina bimeinu la 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 ayeda Let's go. There's such a ratzon to hear love right now, to hear like, to feel like Hashem, you actually, you love us. Shir Shirim, it says, Kol dodi hine zeba, medalega le'arim, mekapetz le'gvot. It's like the chaver that live here and the chaver that live there, like we have these gvaot between us, and it's got to be, you know, bouncing with love, you know, kol mekapetz le'gvot. And we have to just keep that going from mountain to mountain to mountain to mountain. My daughter's, one of my daughters, Liba, once she realized that a mountain is called Har, so she turned to the mountain, she said, Abba, that's the Harim Yamushu? It's like they know terminology based on songs. It's such a beautiful thing. Like our soundtrack, if you think about it, our soundtrack, our life is like, really, you want to know what your life is like, what's the soundtrack? When you think about it, we're doing the chinuch classes, the parenting classes. It was like 2 shiurim we did about how do you create the ultimate playlist that your children are going to remember as the soundtrack of their home. This nigun is one of the songs of my childhood. And to express the longing Shlomo HaMelech speaks about in Shir Hashem. If you know, please sing with me. Kol dodi hine zeba דודי נזכה מדבר על ההודים מקבץ על כל דודי הנה זה בא דודי הנה זה בא מדבר על ההודים מקבץ על השמיעי לי אזכורך כי קולך חרב ומלך נבל 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 זה בא דודי הנה זה בא מדבר על ההודים מקבץ על דודי הנה זה בא דודי זה בא אני מקבל השמיעי לי אזכורך כי קולך חרב ומלך נבל השמיעי לי אזכורך כי קולך חרב ומלך נבל די די דה 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 די 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 דה 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 Yeah, I don't know the answer to the question, obviously, mi ata, efo ata, but I want to tell you a little bit about mi anachnu. Remember that, Yuri, right before you got here, you spoke about the clip you sent. You gave me such a tzmarmoret of that kaduraglan, of that soccer player that went like that when he scored. And, Laser Lloyd has this really beautiful song called Ha'am Sheli. I don't know if any of you know it. Put it out, I don't know, like 7, 8 years ago. He had a bunch, I sang on it a little bit. He had a bunch of artists sing on it, each one the phrase, Ha'am Sheli, talk about my people. And let's really look deep at my people. I passed by lines of people in Tel Aviv on Friday giving their blood so that people that the world thinks have nothing to do with them could live. It was almost like with the Mishkan, where Moshe says, listen, tell them, Marbim ha'am la'avi, you're bringing too much. So much blood they gave. My people, Za'am Sheli. Am Sheli, your brother asked me I told him about it, or he heard it in the Shir and Shmaya. You all know about the big parties that were planned this past Friday night in Tel Aviv. The first bashes post-corona, where a lot of money was put into these big parties, big ones, hundreds of thousands of shekels. Tel Aviv, canceled. Am Sheli. Yaakov Chevel Nachalato. It's the Chevel he spoke about. Such a pele, Am Yisrael is such a pele, such a wonder, it's such a Zar lo yavin zot. You can't explain this to someone. Zar lo yavin zot. You can't explain this. We could barely understand it. We just look at Am Yisrael. It's a pele, wonder. You know my friend Zusha Filman? There's no Zusha, right? From the Moshav. Zusha writes like these beautiful posts. Katzar v'la'inyan. He has a way, Zusha had polio when he was born. So he's, Zusha's very, very short. Dancing with him. I don't know if you've ever seen him dance. Hershey, you've seen him dance Friday night. I don't know if you've seen Zusha dance. The Mashu, not from this world. Not for, Reb Shlomo used to talk about dancing with Zusha a lot. It's an Indian. I haven't been with Shabbos years in Shabbos, but Friday night, he is a prince. How tall is Zusha? He's taller than the whole world. Zusha says once in Elo, he wrote a post, he says, חלק מהתשובה זה לעשות מעצמך קטן, אבל אני כבר קטן. Zusha writes, and it's like recently he gets deeper and deeper. These are like Am Yisrael Yidden, Laser, Zusha. These are they feel nishmat ha'umah. These are, Zusha opened up a yeshiva on the beach, you know that? He has one Talmud. He had one Talmud. And this guy, they're pounding away learning, putting the world to shame. I know what they're learning. It's unbelievable. Zusha writes on some of his posts recently, he'll say a Torah from like Ishbitz or something, and then he'll say like V'gam Zusha hu pele gadol. And Zusha is also a big pele. Like to say about yourself that you're a wonder. It's not gaiva. Well, saying you're a wonder means when something's wondrous to you, it means you don't even have a hasaga. You don't have a grasp of it. So it's not a haughty thing to say, I'm a pele. Some of us, whatever, we grew up, we see like, small wonder, you think like Vicki Lawrence, right? We're each a small wonder, big wonder. Each of us is like Rav Goldvich. We are. We're Pile Plain. We're wonders of all wonders. We're wondrous. We're wonderful. Wonderful means you're full of wonder. And this is just full of wonder. Just can't believe that we're living in this time. So I just want to, first of all, thank Ari and Ilana for allowing us to just cry it out a little bit here tonight. Thank you, Israel, for making sure that the Chevra can join us, and everyone for being here. The women are really chazak, and I told them something yesterday at the shir. There was mamish, like they mamish need each other, and they know there was about 50 women there yesterday. And I want to say to you what I said to them. On Reb Nachman and Reb Nessen's deathbed, they both said the same thing to the Talmidim. They said, because they had no idea what's going to be. How are we going to, what are we going to do? And they said, Hachziku atzmachem beyachad. Hold yourselves up. Hold each other. Literally hold each other. Hold each other up. Because I don't know how any of us can imagine any other way of being where we're at right now. Holding ourselves up. So I thank the Erdfabs for helping us hold each other up. Tomorrow night, the women are gathering again in our house. Special night with Ruth Banai. She's a very special woman. Very, very special woman. A very special story of chizuk for everyone. That's Eviatar's wife. She's going tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Tell your wives to make sure to be there. But it doesn't have to be a gathering of a bunch of people. It can be a gathering of 2 people, of 3 people, of 4 people. I know there's so many different pockets of chevra all over the place, but sometimes it's like we have to take the extra, that extra step of just, it takes a lot to call someone and say, I actually need someone. I couldn't believe a few calls that came in today from New York where people were saying, we need someone. We need to figure out how to be together. What could we do? This is in New York. Reb Shimon is ripping their heart open. It's a beautiful thing to be able to call out to someone, and also just one more thing, Hitbodedut doesn't mean that you're in a state of full ecstasy of emunah, and from that place you start talking to Hashem. Hitbodedut means going into a corner and screaming at God and saying, why are you making it so hard for me to believe in you? Why are you making it almost impossible for me to give over your beauty to my children right now? That's a conversation. That's part of the conversation. And we have no right to ignore that right now. We can't afford to. It's part of the conversation. And malasot. But just remember one thing, Chevin. None of us understood beautiful things when they happen in our lives either. When a healthy child is born, does anyone here understand that? Do you understand that? Something bad happens, I don't understand. It's adas. It's the tree of knowledge, making you think you need to understand in order to be in a relationship with God. So all the proportion for those kind of things, it's not for now. That's later. Every question from the news is, so what are you, schlepping you into the authorities? Zar lo yavin zot. Zar bamet. Zar lo yavin zot. It's something you can't explain. So I just hope that I reached out to someone today. First time in a long time. It was so important. It was so freeing. It was so redeeming. It was so not me also. It was so redeeming. So So I'll just end off with one thing from the PSS narrative. Does anyone want to hear Torah from today? Who else? I'm scared because this parak is, you see, I have a footnote here. I'm learning this with my daughter for Bat Mitzvah. And I see it's right where, like, this is the parak that I'm praying the most that I can actually give this over to myself so she can mekabel it. Parak Tet in Chovat HaTalmidim. We should, B'ezrat Hashem, get back to learning this by next week, by next Monday night. We're going to continue. For real. I'm serious. Back to Chabura, Monday nights. תרגיל את ליבך ונפשך להשתפך להשם בשיח ותפילה. Accustom your heart and your soul to always be in a state of pouring it out before Hashem. Hanar, אף הגדול, the youth, even if they're a little bit older, אם יש לו אך דעה קטנה, they have a little bit, so what happens? Not a cup. חושבים שכל עצה התפילה היא הדאגה והצרות שעליה מתפללים. Unfortunately, people view the concept of tefillah, that tefillah is over worries. I daven over my worries, right? כמו שמבקש העני מן העשיר. Like a pauper asks a rich person, או כל איש מן מלך בשר ודם, אשר בידו להושיעו באיזה דבר. Or any person in a relationship before a king, that the king can redeem him. So davening is like a poor person asking something from someone that could grant him what he wants. אבל רק איש בער ולא ידע. Now you all know what that means because you say that every single Friday night for your whole lives, right? And Shabbos morning. So you already know, I don't have to explain it because you already know what that means. Ish ba'ar lo yeda, nachon? Yeah. Ish ba'ar velo yeda. What's ish ba'ar velo yeda? A fool. Only a person that's foolish yachol lechalel kol kach et hatfilah. Chilul tfilah. We've heard of Chilul Hashem? He says it's a desecration. Desecration. If your concept of tefillah is what we just said, it's a chilul tefillah, he says. Right? He says, אבל רק איש בער ולא ידע, יכול לחלל כל כך את התפילה, ולחשבה רק צורך הדאגות. ולולי הצטרפויותיו, לא היה מתפלל חס ושלום. And if he didn't need anything, then he probably wouldn't daven. כי באמת, התפילה עצמה, davening itself, התקרבות הלב והשתכחות הנפש להשם בתפילה, זוהי העיקר אשר בתפילה. What's the עיקר? Standing in the presence of the living God. שפכי כמים ליבך, נוכח פני השם. David HaMelech doesn't say what you're pouring your heart over. It's the fact that you're standing before Hashem, pouring your heart out. This is like where this is now because there's nothing. What are you gonna? What's the tefillah tonight? What is the actual tefillah tonight? Does anyone have actual like? This is what I'm asking Hashem. It's not really a need. Like, what need is there? Of course, I want the families to be consoled. It doesn't come close to what my neshama really needs. My neshama needs to feel like it's standing in the presence of the living God. That's tefillah more than asking for certain things. Yes, Chazal, Sidru. You could learn Hilchos Tefillah, you'll see how Chazal really Sidru, it's Seder HaTfilot, HaBakashot. If you would go through Shmona Esrei, you'll see it. But we learned something amazing yesterday from the Mishnah Berurah. This is amazing, Hilchot Tefillah. You know that when you daven Shmona Esrei, so how do you know what you're allowed to lean on or what you're not allowed to lean on? The Mishnah Berurah tells us, right, that if what you're leaning on was pulled away from you and you'd lose your balance, that's asur to lean on. That's what the Mishnah Berurah, that's what Allah says. Like if I'm davening with the shtander, but I'm not, but you'd pull it away from me and I could still have my balance, that's fine. But if I'm leaning on it, that means, and you'd pull it away from me and I'd lose my balance, then it's asur. So what's the pnimius of that halacha? While we're davening, we're usually leaning on other things, making alternate plans if what we're davening for doesn't work out. Reb Tzadok says that the real tefillah will be is when I'm showing the Ribono Shel Olam that I'm leaning fully on you, and if you pull yourself away from me, I'm going to fall flat on my face. And that's why some of us are falling flat on our faces, because we legitimately feel that this shtender that we've been leaning on, meaning the way we experience our connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, has been completely removed. And now it's time to learn how to stand up again. Now it's time to learn again, what like, Shifri Kamayim Libech, Nochach Pnei Hashem. You know, I had this feeling like if we had, another name for the shul, I would like just write like Nochach, Nochechut, but that reminds me so much of high school because it also means attendance. Like Nochechut, right? You take attendance today. Attendance, there, Nochach Pnei Hashem. You guys, you want it?
Not a bad idea.
Nochach?
$1 million.
Nochechut in shul. Oh, you're fine. We should be nocheach to each other. We should be nocheach to each other. And we should, if one of us falls, we should know that the other person will not let us fall fully. And give each other infinite amounts of chizuk. And cut each other slack. Have like a lot more patience for each other. And to go out of our comfort zones and reach out. We're going to dive in now? Yeah, minyan? Okay, great.